How we doing? Got anybody in here yet? Yeah, we do. All right. What's going on? What's up, Dev? How you doing, man? Appreciate you. Dude, I'm looking at the prelims here, and the second fight of the night with Vince Pichel and Ismail Bonfim, I think might be kind of a fun fight. Well, not maybe, but I think that is going to be a fun fight between those two. I'm looking forward to it. I like anytime we get to see Vince Pichel fight. It's not often, but when he does, it's always usually very entertaining. So, but overall, this card is it's rough. But Jamie Malarkey, I'll be interested to see what he can do. Jakar Close and Joaquim Silva, I think, is going to be a great fight. The Elvis Brenner fight and Orlabi, however you say his name. That guy's got a crazy name. That'll be a fun fight, I think. Jack Shore, I always like watching Jack Shore fight. Paul Craig, Hayo Bahalo, that'll be a fun fight. I'm curious to see how Paul Craig does, man. I don't know. Michelle Pineda and E.R. Potieria is going to be a good one, too. I'm excited. Dude, I'm excited for some of these fights. Not many, though, but a few. There's a few fights that I think are going to be entertaining, but we'll see. Vitor Petrino and Anthony Smith. I don't know. Aldo and Martinez. I think Aldo's still going to get it done. What's up, Zainaz? How you doing? Israel Adesanya versus DDP. How does it go, in my opinion? It's tricky, right? If you guys could like the stream too, I would appreciate it. It's kind of a tricky fight because I think that, don't fall into the trap of Adesanya lost to Strickland. So, I think that if he's able to keep DDP off of him, and he could just sit at range and kind of poke at him, but I don't know. I think it's a really hard fight for Adesanya. It's a hard fight for both guys stylistically, but I just think DDP with his pressure, his overall skill set that he possesses, like he's really good everywhere. He's physically strong. He's got pretty good striking. He's able to switch stances. He's able to give you a lot of different looks. I think that, he can mix it together, and I think that Izzy would really be in some trouble. Adesanya, if we're going off of when he's faced guys that are bigger and have, some of that, power and strength in terms of the grappling, he seems to be very hesitant and struggle, right? We saw him against Marvin Vettori the second time. I believe that was UFC 263. And then against Cannonier, I know Cannonier is not much of a grappling threat, but he tends to be very, kind of sit on the back foot and kind of play that kind of game, to where I think DDP, honestly, is kind of a bad matchup for him, honestly, maybe. I just don't see Adesanya just sitting at range and picking at him the whole time. I just don't think DDP. I think DDP will get touched up with a jab. Maybe he'll get his legs beat up, but I think that he'll be able to kind of close down Izzy. And if he gets a hold of him, it's going to be a problem. You're good, Dev. You're good. You're good, man. I'm doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Been watching Jack Ryan on Prime Video. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's a good, it's a damn good series. I just started it the other day, a couple episodes in. So I've been watching that too. That and fights. And then there's some BKFC next weekend. So doing a little research there, getting ready. I'm going to be covering a lot of the BKFC stuff on my channel too. I don't see anybody else covering it, and I like it, dude. So I think BKFC is. I went to a fight or a few months back. Went to Lakeland, Florida, to watch a card, man, and it's like it's addicting to watch bare knuckle. To be honest, so action packed. The dude from Mars is your lock. I don't even know how to say his name, dude. I gotta wait and hear John Anik's pronunciation, I guess. But I know people were trying to give me the pronunciation, but yeah, that's. I'm excited. I'm excited to see him perform. I don't know how to say his name, but I like watching him fight. So, and I love the way the guy looks, man. I love the way he looks, man. But yeah, Jakar Close too. I'm excited to see Close. I think that, his last outing, like Close has been on a little bit of a tear recently. I'm excited to see what he can put together because he's old. I forgot how much older Jakar Close is, or not how much older he is, but he is kind of old. 35, I think, 36. So the time is kind of now. He's been around for a while. So if he's going to make a run, now's the time. Manuel Torres starches Close. Yeah, Manuel Torres is a stud, man. But tonight, Joaquim Silva, I think, is a pretty good stylistic matchup for Close to take advantage of. But yeah, Manuel Torres is a beast. I imagine we'll see him probably at the Sphere. I would be shocked if he's not at the Sphere. So we'll see, though. We'll see. I always get excited anytime we get to see some of these young prospects take on some of these gritty veterans that do have good power, do have, a good skill set, haven't really lost a step, but are just kind of, I don't want to say a gatekeeper, but they're just, I don't know, like Jeremy Stevens was like that for a while. He hits hard, he's got pretty decent striking. You got to be on your P's and Q's, otherwise, you could get caught. So I always like seeing a matchup like that. What champ versus champ interests me right now? Mm, I'm honestly going to probably say Islam Makhachev and Leon Edwards. Honestly, I think that one interests me the most stylistically. I think that's the best stylistic out of all the champ versus champ scenarios. O'Malley versus Taporia, Taporia versus Makhachev, probably Makhachev versus Leon. Honestly, win, lose, or draw, Erceg will show that he belongs. Yeah, I think Erceg, no matter what happens tonight, I think he's going to put on a good showing. And I think he can pull it off. I really do. I think that Pantoja has been in a lot of wars. Yeah, he does have a lot of experience, but he gets reckless and he's been getting away with just kind of being really wild where he hasn't fought some guy that can sit back on the back foot and play the long, be that long guy that can sit behind good boxing. And I think that Steve Erceg going to be able to do that. We'll see, though. It's tough because Pantoja's got that experience. He's gritty, finds ways to win. He reminds me of Moicano in that way. I said that down below, and someone was like, "What a terrible take." I'm like, I'm not saying he fights like Moicano. I'm saying he reminds me of Moicano in terms of the way he does whatever it takes to win. So, and he's gritty and he's tough. Brito versus Onama. Who would I pick? I really like David Onama. I'm all aboard the David Onama train. I really like Onama. I think he's got really fun striking. I think he's just getting better. It was unfortunate he missed weight his last time out, but I like David Onama a lot. I've been kind of like low key rooting for him. So yeah, I would go with Onama. He kind of reminds me in a way a little bit of like the way he feints and the way he kind of moves on the feet. And then you saw him the one time do Izzy's celebration. I think he like takes a lot of influence from like those city kickboxing guys. Like he takes a lot of influence from their game. I think, just really looking to, feint, sit on the outside, kind of move around. But as he started to get tired, in his most recent outing, he started to get a little tired, and that's where things got a little hairy. But when you're facing JSP Pierce, he's always going to try to make it a dirty, grimy kind of fight to where you got to just defend takedowns the whole fight. So I mean, no harm, no foul getting tired there. But I like David Onama. I think he's got a good style. I think he's a good fighter. So, but I don't know. I'm excited to see the return of Jose Aldo, honestly. That's what I'm really excited to see because with Jose Aldo, I feel like a lot of people kind of the narrative coming into this is a little wrong, like everyone's like, "Oh, Jonathan Martinez and his kicks." And I get he's got good kicks, but Jose Aldo's has some of the best leg kick defense in all of in the history of the sport. Like some of the names that come to mind are like Jan Blachowicz, Alex Pineda has really good leg kick defense, but Jose Aldo, he's like cream of the crop, man. Really good tie stance. His boxing's really good. But everyone talks about Aldo's boxing now, which is crazy because that is what we, kind of see him as in a way. But he was always known for being, a very tie-based guy. He doesn't throw a lot of kicks of his own. I don't think he's going to throw a ton of kicks tonight, considering it's an open stance battle to where we got a Southpaw Orthodox matchup. But I think he's going to be able to defend the leg kicks um, of Martinez, and I think that he's just going to be able to touch him up with the hands. That's how I see it playing out. I think Aldo's going to do very well. Joshua Van or Tatsuro. I got Joshua Van. I know that that's a I just like Joshua Van. I like Josh Van. I think that the grappling could be a little bit of a problem for Van. I'll be honest there, but I really like Joshua Van. I think he's got really slick boxing. I think he's got good hands. I think he's just overall a really, really well-rounded fighter. And I like watching. I just love a good boxer, man. I love a good MMA boxer, a guy that's got good head movement, good combinations, rips to the body. I love a fighter like that. So I'm a little biased there, but it's going to be a tough fight, though. What's up, Derek? How you doing, man? So that's just how I feel personally. But hey, fellas, what's up? What's up, Fight Milk? How you doing, man? I got a tip for you. Don't let someone get this close. Boom, headbutt. I love how they let Connor just be himself in that movie, man. That makes me laugh. But can Van survive on the ground though? We haven't seen him against a grappler like that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's my issue with this matchup for Van. I like Van and I'm rooting for him to win, and I am going to pick him because I want him to win. But that's what I'm saying. That would be the issue. There is the grappling. We haven't seen him in there with somebody that can really press the grappling like this. But if you guys could like the stream, I said we got a bunch more people in here. I would appreciate it. Appreciate you all hopping on here, man. Aldo was top level. When he left. That loss to Marab aged well. That's what I was saying, man. That's what I was saying in my video where I was breaking the fight down. I'm like, dude, people are sleeping on Aldo, man. I'm like that fight against Marab. Like, look how well that's aged. He was just getting held up against the fence. He wasn't getting taken down and held down or anything like that. He was just being stalled up against the fence the whole time. So I'm telling you, man, I think Aldo's going to come in there, and I think you're going to see. You're going to see that there is a very, very big difference in terms of the striking. I get Martinez has good kicks, but he spams kicks. He lacks in the boxing. He has a good rear knee up the middle, and outside of that, he's very basic on the feet, very one-dimensional. I think Aldo's going to pick him apart. I'm serious. I'm just being honest. What's up, Tehran? How you doing, man? Van is very athletic. Hopefully, he can scramble. We're going to find out, man. That's what I'm excited about. Normally, a lot of these guys that are very boxing based in MMA, they normally are very scrambly on the ground. They normally are very good. They normally have pretty good takedown defense. If you that like sprawl and box, I know people like to say sprawl and brawl, but I like to say sprawl and box type of style, like Holloway, Jack Della Maddalena, Ilia Topuria. We got some guys out there, Corey versus Umar. Who do I got? Man, that is such a great fight. That is such a great fight, Colstrom. I'm hoping we see that International Fight Week. I'm not going to make a prediction yet, but I'll say this. We're going to find out if Umar's that good. We'll find out if Umar's that good. And also, Corey Sandhagen, I think, is the most well-rounded and well-put-together fighter in the entire division. I'll say that much. So, I don't know. That's a great fight. I wish they could make it 5 rounds, honestly. You're not even excited for today. It's not a good pay-per-view. I'll be honest there. I'll give you that. It's more like a glorified fight night. What's up, Mickey? Paul Walsh on the undercard, very talented. Have you heard about the new guy? Nick Bear? What? Are you trolling me? Who am I looking at here? On the undercard? You're just trolling. Am I tripping, or is on paper Smith winning? Vitor taking the pleasure man to a decision. He looked like crap against Pedro, or looked like shit versus Pedro, who was on his way out. Smith didn't look bad versus Roundtree. Dude, here's the thing about Vitor Petrino. I think that the guy is good, but sometimes with these young guys, they're a little full of themselves. And I think Vitor Petrino is very full of himself. He should have finished Tyson Pedro. Tyson Pedro looked terrible in that fight. I agree. I agree with you there. I think that Tyson Pedro did not look good in that last fight. He retired after it. And I think that he already had one foot out the door coming into that fight. I don't know. I think it's possible. I think Anthony Smith could make it a dirty, grimy kind of fight, wear on him, kind of force him into these clinch situations, wear on him a little bit, maybe take him down. I don't know. Anthony Smith's entries have not been very good. So I don't know. Vitor Petrino might just sit at range and bang leg kicks all day, but Petrino seems to have a little bit of an issue with opening up. He tends to be very hesitant to where he doesn't open up, like we saw against Tyson Pedro. And it's like, I mean, I think Tyson Pedro is not as good as Anthony Smith right now. That's my opinion. But I mean, I know that that's not like a crazy comparison up against each other, but I don't know. I'm not ruling out Anthony Smith in this matchup. Help me get to 10 likes on the stream though, man. I appreciate it. We're almost at 10. They dragged the hell out of me in that MMA group. They were on Facebook. I got called a casual just because I said UFC 301 is absolute garbage card. It is a garbage card. It is not good. It's a glorified fight night. Anytime a flyweight title that doesn't contain Brandon Moreno, Henry Cejudo, or Demetrius Johnson is really it's not a pay-per-view headliner. Even when Henry Cejudo was a champ, and even when Mighty Mouse was a champ, they weren't even really headlining cards like that. So I don't know, man. Anytime we get a flyweight headliner, the UFC is just like, fuck it. So I don't know, man. You're not a casual though, man. It is a half-ass card, honestly. But they did this because they knew UFC 300. Let's be honest. Coming off of UFC 300, like they weren't going to be able to stack the card. And 302 is not bad. And 303 is going to be pretty good, I would imagine. And 302, everyone's talking about, Strickland Costa, Makhachev Poirier. The best fight on the card is that Joshua Van fight. I think that's the most exciting fight, honestly. Like stylistically, we're going to find out what Josh Van's about. And I just think that's a great two young prospects. Like we don't get to see that all the time. Two young prospects getting thrown to each other early on. I don't know. I like that. Maybe that's crazy of me. But I mean, Strickland Costa is going to be a good fight. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying that Joshua Van fight's being overlooked a little bit. On paper, Anthony Smith would win 5 years ago. You didn't know not liking cards made you. 301 is going to be amazing. These fights are bangers. Don't trash the card before it happens. Normally, I will say this. The cards that people aren't necessarily looking forward to the most end up being pretty good cards. So we'll see. The main event isn't good, but the card itself is better than some cards. Yeah, I think there's some good fights on here, especially on the prelims. I don't want you guys – listen, if you have to say, hey, what's a fight that's like kind of sliding under the radar that I think is going to be like a crazy finish? Second fight of the night, Bonfim and Vince Pichel. Anytime Vince Pichel fights, it's a pretty wild ass fight. So I'm excited. Strickland and Costa should be good. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm just saying don't overlook the Joshua Van fight. We got to get we just got to get through this card. The rest of them looking fire. Yeah, it's going to be dude, it's going to be a crazy rest of the year, I think. And guys, I'm going to say this right now on my live stream. I'm going to make a full-blown video dedicated to this at some point. What is wrong with you if you are sitting there saying that, John doesn't need to fight Tom Aspinall and he shouldn't fight Tom Aspinall because who is Tom beat and all that? That is the craziest shit I've ever heard, honestly. Guys, what are we talking about? In the UFC, whenever we see someone win the interim belt, what does that mean? You punched your ticket and you are fighting the champ next. Since when does the champion get to sit there and go, I'm going to fight him, I'm I'm going to fight him. Dude, you have an interim champ in your division. Poirier won the interim belt, fought Khabib the next fight. Gaethje won the interim belt, fought Khabib the next fight. Colby Covington won the interim belt, fought Usman the next fight. Why does John Jones get to sit there and be like, well, I'm going to fight a guy who hasn't fought in the new Venom fight kits. It's been that damn long. He's going to come back. And by the way, he lost to Ngannou, so he's coming off a loss. He's basically a dinosaur at this point, Stipe Miocic. With all due respect, I like Stipe. Seems like a great guy, but let's call it what it is. Like, what the hell? He's just going to walk back into a title shot? Like, nobody's asking for that fight. And then they're going to literally – I just don't get it. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy. It's the fight to make. And maybe the UFC pulls it off and has John Jones versus Aspinall for UFC 304, and that's why they haven't booked anything yet, because I think it's crazy that there's no headliner, and they're going to have to reel the fan base back in after disrespecting the UK fan base by having the times at what they are. Like, listen, I love UFC. I'm in America here, right? But that is crazy to me to have the time zone where you're going to be that fucked. Like, I mean, that's crazy to me. During the night, I don't know. I'm fine watching a pay-per-view during the day. Like when they go to Abu Dhabi and the pay-per-view's at like 2 or 3 o'clock. Like, I'm fine with that. I don't know. It's crazy to me, honestly. But I don't know. That's my rant for the live. This main event will be straight fire. Erceg and Pantoja are tough. It's going to be a fun matchup, man. It's going to be a dogfight, I think. I meant good in terms of a headliner, a pay-per-view. The fight is great. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Every pay-per-view isn't going to be vets and celebrities. Just give it a chance, y'all day. Yeah, I think that there's some good sleeper fights on here, man. I hope to see Holloway fight again this year. I think he will. I think he's going to fight the winner of Chandler and McGregor, or he's going to fight Topuria. Names on the cards matter. That's true, man. That clearly. That's like, I mean, why are people tuning into 302? Well, you got Strickland, Costa, Makhachev, Poirier. Like, the name value matters big time for sure. I would love to, honestly, give Tom the actual belt at this point. Like, I mean, if John's like, okay, I'll fight the interim guy, like, then we do that. But if he's just going to be like, no, I'm not fighting an interim champ, and to me, it's crazy. It's crazy. Don't do interim belts anymore then, UFC. I'd love to see Jones fight both Alex and Tom, but first Tom. Dude, same. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm all down for Alex Pereira and John Jones fighting each other. But can we stop at, like, listen, Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal, Conor McGregor, back when Masvidal and Diaz were in the UFC. They were never champs, right? Conor was at one point, but my point that I'll use Masvidal and Diaz because they were big names, right? They would just basically fight whoever, and they didn't have a belt, and it would just be like exciting fights and this and that, especially Nate Diaz. Like, why is John Jones acting like he's not the champion? Like, when you're the champion, you kind of fight the next best guy or a big name or something like that. And in the UFC heavyweight division right now, there is no better bigger fight than Tom Aspinall, in my opinion, without having Alex go up, a weight class, in my opinion. Colstrom, you agree, but it's also crazy how people are acting like Tom will just run through John. No, I don't think he's going to run through John. I even tweeted that. I've even said, like, that is a hard fight for Tom Aspinall. Like, I honestly would probably, I think I'm going to favor John Jones at this point. Like, I might favor John Jones. So I don't know. We've seen Aspinall get tired. I don't know. It's a good fight. That's why I want it. I don't want it because of these people that are out there like, oh my God, yeah, feed John Jones to Tom Aspinall. I'm not one of those people. I want to make that clear. It's a great fight. It's a great stylistic matchup. If John Jones can go out there, beat Tom Aspinall, then go out there, beat Alex Pereira or something like that, that'd be crazy. Conor and Jones have the most irritating fan base. Yes, they do. I would agree. And I like both guys as fighters, and Conor's an interesting character, but, I don't know. You're thinking a Aspinall versus Pereira fight? That would be crazy. What's up, Lane? How you doing? That would be a crazy fight. Jones criticized Tom for winning his interim belt against a non-champ when he won his belt against Gane. Shake my head. I know Sergey Pavlovich is a harder fight than Ciryl Gane. And Tom Aspinall went in there and knocked him out. Just saying. Jones is at a different part in his career. than anyone else. He is the GOAT. Pineda would look a lot better on the resume. John is fighting for legacy. I understand why everyone feels this way. Like, I get it, though. Like, I get what you're saying, but when you're the champion, like, this isn't, you're the champion. Vacate the belt then and just go take fun fights. That's my point. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's just my thought. I don't know. It's just getting frustrating to me what's going on with the belts and the interims. Like, don't put an interim title on the line then if we're not going to honor the interim belt. That's what the interim belt has always been for. And then you end up unifying it. Like, I don't know. You don't think Tom has ever beaten a champion, but Andre A. Like, I know, but that's not his fault, though. Like, that's not his fault. Like, we've seen plenty of fighters go out there, go on a win streak, fight people, win a belt, and they haven't fought a former champion or something like that. Like, we've seen that. So, I don't know. Who actually gives a damn about Jones and Stipe? I don't think anybody does. Man, help me get to 10 likes, man. We got 9 on here. I would appreciate it. I don't give a damn about that fight either, dude. What does John actually gain from beating an washed up Stipe? I don't get it. It's just a bull crap narrative, man, about I don't know. They're trying to sell it as this big legacy thing. Like, I'm not trying to take anything away from Stipe, but guys, realistically, who did Stipe beat at heavyweight? Who did he beat at heavyweight? You guys can rattle off his wins down below, but the guys that he beat are heavyweights that have been beaten by a lot of other people as well. So it's not like it's some, like, you know, let's call it what it is, right? You know, he fought Francis and beat him when Francis had 0 wrestling. Then Francis was able to defend takedowns, and you saw what happened, right? You know, Stipe's done some really good things. Yes, he beat Daniel Cormier, and I get it. But I don't know, man. I think he's great. Don't get me wrong, but I just think he's blown a little out of proportion to where before Stipe, there wasn't a crazy legacy at heavyweight, though. It was more along the lines of light heavyweight in the early UFC time, in my opinion. Alex ain't coming back to defend light heavyweight. He might though. He might get the rematch with Yuri Prohaska, and then they'll have him fight Ankalaev in October. Because everyone's like, oh, he's ducking Ankalaev. It's like Ankalaev was like, I'll fight you in October in Abu Dhabi. Like, what the fuck? Like, Pineda doesn't have to wait. He's the champ. He wants to be active. He wants to be active, and he does want to be active. So he'll probably fight Yuri, you know, maybe August. We'll see, though. Jones hasn't proven he's the best at heavyweight. I mean, he went in there and ran over Seal Gone. Like, I'll give him that, but we just need to see, you know, I don't know. To me, it's just a little wild that we have an interim champ who's a big name. Aspinall is a big name. Like, why are people acting like Aspinall is not like this big name now? He is. Like, people are talking about Tom Aspinall. Like, I don't know. What's up, Hav? You think Jones wants to fight Alex so he doesn't fight Tom? I think he wants to add that it's a legacy type of fight, but also like he doesn't want to. I think he would fight Stipe, fight Alex, and then retire because he sees a hole in the grappling of Alex. That's what it is, man. Like, I get that the great accolade that you get from beating Alex because of everything he's accomplished, but dude, Tom Aspinall is the guy to fight right now. And if John goes out there and beats Aspinall, which I really think he could do. I really think John could go out there and beat Aspinall. Like, I don't, then that would really, John's case would really be there. Then you go out there and beat Alex. Like, I don't know. That's just my thought. He wants a 4th title. Poetan, that would be his 3rd. Well, yeah, 4th, 2 in Glory, 2 in the UFC, and then that would be his 3rd. I get what you're saying. I actually think Jones beats both Alex and Tom. Dude, I'm saying this, I've been saying this, dude. Like, I'm one of those people that's like, yes, John is ducking Tom, but I think that it's frustrating me because I'm like, John can beat Tom, dude. Like, I think John should be the favorite coming into the fight. Like, I think John is a better grappler than Tom Aspinall, hands down. Tom Aspinall does have good jiu-jitsu, but we've seen he gets tired. John does not get tired. John is incredibly well-rounded. He has those he has kicks that he can throw at range. I know his hands aren't the best, but they're good enough to close down Tom Aspinall, make it a dirty, grimy type of fight. He has better clinch work, better elbows. I don't know. I know that it didn't look great against Gane on the feet, and Tom Aspinall does have some clean boxing, and he does have good power in his kicks, but I don't know. We'll see. Stipe versus Jones is a disgrace. I agree. Kane versus Tom would have been a good fight. That would have been a great fight. Everyone stop and like. I appreciate you, Derek. Jones versus Stipe probably would have been a good fight to make maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Let me say this. If John Jones would have been the champion like when Daniel Cormier was, and then Cormier went up and fought Stipe, that would have been the time to do John Jones and Stipe. Not now. Not now. Yeah, he did beat Francis. That's what I'm saying. Early in the Francis days when Francis had no takedown defense. Imagine being told you aren't worthy of fighting the champion because you haven't beaten a champion. That is beyond stupid. Like Tom Aspinall's control. Guys, fighters, all they can do is they sign an agreement to go in there and fight somebody. Who they go in there and fight on the come up is not like they're not picking and choosing matchups. Like they're not like Sean O'Malley, who's like, you know, and the UFC is going to be like, let's strategically give you this guy, that guy. Like they may do that. Like Pineda, they're like, okay, we got to get him to Izzy, give him all guys that are going to stand and trade with them, or give them guys that don't have very good grappling. But like they're not, I don't know. Like it's not Aspinall's fault. The heavyweight division isn't deep. He's went in there. What he did to Pavlovich was impressive. He even ate a pretty good shot from Sergey, was able to stay on his feet and skirt and move around. Like I'm impressed with Aspinall. I still think John, you know, it's just frustrating because it's a good stylistic fight to me. Yuri versus Pineda is what I want to see. I think that's I like the rematch, man. I like the rematch. I had some idiot on that Jamahal Hill video that I recently put out saying that, you know, oh, like Jamahal Hill, he deserves you know, if Jamahal Hill, you know, this and that, he deserves a title shot or next with a win. And we're only saying Jamahal Hill doesn't, you know, need it because of blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, Jamahal Hill went out there and got destroyed by Alex Pineda. Yuri Prohaska was touching up Alex and won the first round, and then came out there and was winning the second round, you know, and then he goes out there, wins a $300,000 bonus on UFC 300 and finishes Alexander Rakic after battling the adversity he threw. If Jamahal Hill can start going out there and doing some things like that, I don't know, man. Like Yuri Prohaska has been impressive. Exactly why he's looking for a heavyweight title. Yeah, I agree. Jones wanting to fight Stipe to avoid Tom is almost similar to when Conor took that fight against Cerrone to avoid Justin Gaethje. Yeah, in a way, but the difference is John has a belt, dude. Like John is a champion, you know, at the time. Like Conor didn't have a belt at the time. Jones looks so incredibly bad on his feet against Gane. The way he was moving, he'd have to wrestle Tom right away or he'll get put away. He might. Yeah, the striking looked bad. But also, in all fairness, he spent 3 years away and had not fought at heavyweight before. So, but I'm just saying. Jones says to Tom, make me want to fight you. Stop begging. It's not a good look. Make John want to fight you like Alex. That's true. No way John takes Aspinall or Poatan. I mean, I think that John has the grappling edge, obviously. I think I don't know. Man. I think John has an edge in the grappling over both guys. He's got really good ground and pound. He's good in the clinch. He's got good trips in close. I don't know. I think he would give Poatan some issues, obviously, with the grappling. I don't know. Ankalaev wanted to fight Alex this summer at International Fight Week, but Alex calling for Yuri. That looks bad, in my opinion. Yeah, but then Ankalaev was saying that he wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi, though, in October. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. And they're not going to do that at International Fight Week, though, because they have Conor as a headliner. They're not going to put a title fight below, and they're not going to have the star power conflict there. My inside game is elite. Love it. Keep it up. Thanks, Hav. Appreciate you, man. Jones never really good at striking. He's known for his wrestling. Yeah, he's kind of got some unorthodox striking and he's got some good kicks, but yeah, he doesn't have the best striking in my opinion. Alex knows Ankalaev has wrestling. That's true. You're not wrong. What's up, Mike Jack? How you doing, man? Do I have any unfinished business with anybody? Nah, man. Nah, man. Maybe with Jamahal Hill. Nah. Not MMA related, but what do I think of the Drake and Kendrick beef? They've been throwing some pretty hard disses at each other. I don't know, but all I know is Drake should not be allowed to wear grills. How about that? He shouldn't be allowed to wear grills. I saw that. He's like, oh, I'm shopping and buying some fronts and stuff. I'm like, you shouldn't be wearing them. It would be beyond funny and great if Stipe just beats up John after being overlooked and shat on for the past year. That's what I'm saying, man. If John can go out there, and I think John has a very good chance, a very good shot at beating Tom. Like, I really do. I think that it's a great fight. And if he does and goes out there and beats him, like, everybody's going to have to shut the hell up. Like, that's why I'm like, dude, just fight the guy. I don't know. It's weird to me. It's weird to me that we have a champion and an interim champion, and then we're going to have the interim champion defend a belt, but then not fight the actual champion when he's available. I don't get it. I don't get it. We're going to have the actual champion fight and a guy who hasn't fought in years since the new Venom fight kits. I keep bringing that up because that's how long it's been. And then we're going to have the interim champion defend the interim belt. Like, makes no sense, man. John has an 82-inch reach. He's always done great in the striking. People just don't remember. He's good at keeping people at range. He does have good kicks. He's got really good elbows, too. He's got good straight punches as well, but he just doesn't have he doesn't have mean power in his hands, I guess you could say. What the hell happened to Curtis Blades fighting Tom? I think that that's a possibility. If I had to guess, I think they're trying to I don't know if they're even trying to do Aspinall versus John. I don't even know if they're trying to do that. But I think that Blades is kind of like the last resort, like the safe option. Like, I think that they're trying to land some big fights. And if they can't get them, then they're going to be like, okay, we'll give Curtis Blades the shot. That's my thought. So, I don't know. We'll see, though. I just want to see John Jones fight Aspinall. I don't know why. We have an interim champ and we have a champion. That's just my thought, man. I'm sick of the Venom fight gear. Let the fighters go back to wearing their own custom shorts with sponsors on the other MMA promotions. Do it too. I see what you're saying, but I like the Venom fight kits when they're allowed to kind of get like their own design going on, like what we saw at 300. I thought that was cool. So I don't know. Anytime someone could defend the wrestling and had the same reach as John, they gave him problems, and none of them had one punch KO power like Aspinall. That's true, because didn't John? I mean, I don't really remember, to be honest with you, but wasn't John kind of ducking Jan Blachowicz back when Jan was like really on a run? When Jan went in there, only one thing is on my mind. John Jones, where are you? Do not be quitter. Don't be. This is not how we do it in Poland. You have to fight a legendary Polish power. Jan Blachowicz. Yeah. I like when Jan does that. In between when he talks, he goes, yeah. The champion is still injured, so let's wait until John is healthy. A lot of speculation until then. Fair enough. Yeah, until John says, I thought he was training, though. I thought I saw something on his social media that he was like saying that he was training. Jan and Rumble. Yeah, I'd be ducking Rumble too, though, in all fairness. I'd be ducking Rumble too. I feel Dom Reyes beat Jones. He was robbed. I agree. He outpointed him. If Erceg wins, do you think he should defend against Mokaev? Who do I got in that fight? I think Erceg beats Mokaev. And I think that they're going to make Mokaev fight a contender first before getting a title shot. You think Jones got bored at 205? That's exactly what I said. I don't think we saw the best John against those guys. I don't think he was motivated, man, to fight those dudes. Jones smokes Alex. Jones gets smoked by Tom. He'll never fight Tom. That's a fair take, Mike Jack. I see what you're saying, man. I think Jones, the grappling is just too much of an advantage against Poatan. And then I think that Tom on the feet is definitely better than John. The question is, what if John gets a hold of him? Because I do think John is the better grappler, but I think Aspinall might be able to defend early on, but then I think he's going to get tired. And then he's going to get sloppy in the striking. And then I think John can kind of keep him at range with some of the kicks, just keep making it a dirty, grimy type of fight and get a hold of him and maybe sub him. I don't know. Until Aspinall beats a legit champion, quit acting like he's that guy. Same people act like this with Jamahal. Jamahal Hill is he's overrated. He's a good fighter, but he's overrated. And I'm curious to see him against Khalil Roundtree. I'm curious to see what we see in that fight. Wish Jones would have stayed at 205. That would have given it some life. That would have definitely have given it some life for sure. We'll see, though. I might have to pull a Diaz here. We got some people in here. I might have to do a, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. You know, I don't even want to be here. Square off with yourself, motherfucker. Do you guys see when he did that at the press conference? Tom is him. Aspinall's good, dude. There's no doubt about it. You think Hill's going to beat Roundtree? And then if he does beat Roundtree, we're never going to hear the end of it. We know Pantoja has better grappling, but who do you think is physically stronger between him and Erceg? That's a great question. I guess we're going to find out. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know. I think that maybe Pantoja, but Erceg's got like that weird skinny guy, tall guy for the weight class, kind of like strength, and he's kind of like squirmy and wiry. I don't know. Maybe Erceg. We're going to find out, though. Mike Jack knows what I was doing. Elia might beat Holloway too. Yeah, 45, I think he does. At 55, I think Holloway beats Topuria. Honestly, feel Erceg will make this look somewhat easy. He's so clean, dude, on the feet. He's so clean on the feet. I just think he's going to be able to kind of snipe at Pantoja. Noticed Holloway struggles with faster fighters who are shorter. But Elia is not particularly fast, though. He's not particularly fast. Yeah, Jorge don't know how to act. I don't think he realized how few fans he had compared to Diaz. Dude, Masvidal, like, I understand the fans were kind of wild out there and they were saying some wild shit. He's got some problems, man. He's like always trying to fight the fans. Like a fan will be like, Masvidal, they'll be like, Masvidal, fuck you. And he's like, dude, I'll come down there and punch you in the face. I'll see you outside, man. I'll fuck you up. It's like, dude. Why is that his response for everything? Literally every fan that had something to say is like, I'll come down there and bust you. He says the same lines too. I'll bust your face up. I'll break your face. So it's like, dude. I like the old Masvidal, not the new age Masvidal that just says a lot of wild things and wants to be like a hard ass and punch people for no reason, or I should say no reason. They're talking shit, but always wants to punch somebody or sucker punch people, or I don't know what he's doing. Allegedly, though. For some reason, Alex was the only guy at 45 to beat Holloway. I'm so used to saying Alex Volkanovski was the only guy at 45 to beat Holloway on the feet. Also, Holloway struggles against guys that are shorter also. Erceg beats most flyweights. His toughest match is Amir Albazi, believe it or not. I could agree with that. I agree with that. Topuria is a combo striker. He's not like Volk, who's constantly peppering with shots. I don't know if Max struggles with short fighters, how he handled someone like Volk. Yeah, it kind of depends. It depends. Because, yeah, I guess Max has always been kind of a taller guy for the weight class, so that might not be fair of me to say, but I don't know. I just like Max at 55, man. I like the way he looked. I like he filled out well for the weight class. I just think that's where he should be. You put in all that effort to go up, I feel like he should just stay there, in my opinion. Max never fought a grappler as good as Elia. Maybe not, but he's got pretty good takedown defense. So Holloway definitely made it look easy against Justin Gaethje. I'd ever seen that fight going that way. Yeah, I didn't think he'd make it look that easy, but I definitely thought that he was going to. I thought he was going to finish him. I mean, obviously it was at the buzzer, but I thought it was going to be like a TKO where the ref comes in and waves it off because Gaethje's not defending. But you saw Holloway landing some good shots and hurting him on multiple occasions, and his elusiveness and his speed, I figured was going to be a problem. So thought Justin's power would have been too much. That's what I was worried about. Those leg kicks were a problem. He was tearing that calf up, dude. Justin did have his moments at times. And then getting your nose broken like that definitely will affect you for the duration of the fight for sure. But I'm gonna hop off here soon. Get some food, man, before we got the fights coming up. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. We're actually at 1,818 subscribers as of this minute. We are finally starting to kind of grow, man. You know, James Lynch subscribed to the channel. That's pretty cool. MMA media guy, means I guess we're kind of getting out there a little bit. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. But yeah, I'm not piecing out just yet. I said it in a little bit, man. A little bit more. Thoughts on Giga versus Allen? One, not to gloat, but I literally put out that video the morning of the card builder, and then that afternoon they announced that fight was going to be on the card. I was like, they were going to move Giga versus Allen. They were talking about doing it for a fight night. I'm like, they're going to put that on 304. That's a great fight. I think Arnold Allen wins though. Charles versus Holloway too would be good. Yeah, if Charles was coming off of a win. To me, it's not as good with him coming off of a loss, honestly. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I think you could still book it, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, man. I don't know. I feel like if Connor wins, I feel like they could maybe do Max versus Connor for the BMF strap. I could see that happening. So I don't know. We'll see, though. So. You feel like Evloev could beat Topuria? It's always the boring decision fights who just know the boring decision fighters who know how to win and end up a champ like Edwards, for example. Yeah, I mean he could, but I don't think he's going to be able to out grapple Topuria. I think Topuria stuffs the takedowns, keeps it on the feet, closes him down, and knocks him out. That's how I see it. Do I see Holloway beating up Chandler the way he did Justin? Yes. I see him being able to, if it's a 5-round fight, I see him being able to get Chandler out of there within 4 rounds, though. What's up, Entertained? How you doing? You're honestly surprised the 125-pound division still exists. Yeah, there's some good fighters at the top of the flyweight division, but I don't know. It's just been the same recycled guys over and over and over again. So it's been kind of boring, but I don't know. But yeah, I think Holloway busts up Michael Chandler, man, honestly. Michael Chandler's way too hittable. He's wild. I mean, he's got good power, but I don't know. He's not clean enough to be able to, I think, do anything to Holloway, honestly. If DJ can't draw, no one can. Dude, that's facts, man. Brandon Moreno, I think, was outside of DJ probably like the biggest draw per se. He's got a big following, a couple million followers. Brandon Moreno, I think, might be honestly like DJ and Brandon Moreno are the only two. Dustin Poirier might be the only guy at 155 who Holloway won't make look silly. I can. Dustin making more of a dogfight than Justin did. That's possible, but I don't know. I like the way Max looked at 55, man. I don't know. But yeah, it's a good fight with Dustin. I think it's a good fight. I don't know if we'll see it again. If it was 1-1, it would definitely be. If it was 1-1, I could definitely see it again, but I don't know. True, Brandon is marketable, especially in Mexico. You know it, man. If he was the flyweight champion still, Brandon Moreno, I feel like he would be at least maybe he would definitely be on that sphere card. He might still be on the sphere card anyway. What's up, Harry Ness? How you doing, man? But yeah, I don't know. I want to see Brandon Moreno back in there. He just didn't look like himself in that last outing at all. Dustin said he might retire even if he beats Islam. I think it might be his last fight, honestly. Aldo's going to sleep Martinez bad. I think he's going to beat him up pretty good too. I think Martinez is overrated, in my opinion. I think Aldo has way better hands, way better boxing. There's too big of a boxing gap on the side of Martinez. I think that Aldo will be able to defend the leg kicks. Martinez is very one dimensional, and then Aldo just pieces him up. He is. He was barely a favorite to Giannis, and now he's favored against Aldo. Why? Dude. It's a great question, man. It's a great question. That's how the MMA world works. One of the highlights they were playing is like the main highlight for Martinez was when they were in the Reebok fight kits. So when he was fighting a guy who early on in his career, like I don't know, man, he's got some impressive leg kick TKOs, but I don't think he's doing that to Aldo. And if he's not doing that to Aldo, he's been winning decisions or he's been getting finished by guys like Davy Grant. And it's like, if you're getting finished by, I know Davy Grant's kind of tricky, but I think Aldo shuts down the leg kicks. And then I think that he just pieces them up with the boxing. Like, I think it's very simple, to be honest with you. Like, I think that Aldo's going to make it look, I don't want to say he's going to make it look easy, but I think that once he starts to defend the kicks a little bit, I think it's going to be a problem. And I think he's going to rip the body, and I think he's going to hurt him. I think he's going to work the body really well, and he's going to cause some serious problems for Martinez. Aldo has more power than Grant, too. That's facts. This also is Aldo's last fight on the contract. He said he's going into boxing afterwards. That's why he came out of retirement to fight his last fight out on the contract. And you know that he's wanting to go out on a high note. So if he could go out there, put a stamp on it, and really finish Jonathan Martinez, dude, it makes him, he's already going to be valuable no matter what in free agency in terms of boxing, but it'll be even more so. The line would be minus 300 2 years ago. That's facts, man. He would be, dude, it wouldn't even be, it's because there's a layoff and he lost to Marab. Ooh, I don't know. It's crazy. I wonder what Aldo's gas tank looks like. I'm sure it's going to be good, man. When you're training as a boxer, dude, those dudes have cardio for days, man. I'm not worried about the conditioning. Aldo, not audio. Aldo is always always in good condition. McGregor is 22 wins, 19 KOs. Chandler is 23 wins and 11 KOs. I think we know who's the true finisher. Michael is in for a shock at Connor's power. He's going to get sniped by Connor, dude. And then Connor snipes him. Gas tank for 3 will be fine. 5 would be worrying, though. Yeah, but it's only a 3-rounder. I think it's going to be all right. I would be worried about Martinez's gas tank, too, though, if it was 5 rounds. And that could be why Ferguson is still fighting. He's probably trying to fight out his contract so he can go do something else. I'm surprised they just haven't cut Ferguson loose, though, because he's on a 7-fight win streak. So he doesn't have the same value in free agency as Aldo. Not even close. But we'll see. We shall see. Chandler's going to crush McGregor. Sorry, Jake. Chandler or KO McGregor and loses to the king himself, Islam. We'll see, man. I'm excited for that fight, though. You know, I know it lost a little bit of steam, but I'm still excited for it. Nick Diaz looking in shape recently. Wouldn't mind him versus Tony. I think if they're both coming back, I think that's a fight they make. What if Chandler knocks out McGregor, which could possibly happen? That would probably be the end of Conor, honestly, in fighting. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but I think it would be hard to come back from that for him. Chandler has the power to KO anybody at 55. So, yeah, I could see it for sure. I just think Chandler gets a little reckless, even if he does, and everyone's missing the detail. I highlighted this in one of my videos. Chandler gets tired when he tries to grapple. Everyone's like, oh, just take him down, just wrestle him. And when Chandler does that, he gets winded. That's what happened against Poirier. He got tired, and he doesn't have very good submissions. So he doesn't really finish people on the ground, and then he's going to have to come back to the feet, and he's going to be gassed and even more sloppy, and then McGregor would just snipe him. He has the power, but not the timing and accuracy. You got it. Exactly. Exactly. I agree. 100%. So we'll see though, man. Ferguson was outstriking Chandler in the first. I forgot. I know, man. That's crazy. Dude, Connor's not washed, man. I don't think he's washed. I think he's still pretty good. He's still got some skill, man. No doubt about it. You'd hope Max doesn't try that 10-second shit with Elia because Elia might put him down in the exchange. That's true. He's got good power, man. Poirier's a good boxer. Very good boxer. But we'll see. We'll see, man. I don't know. I'm weird about Max going back to 45. I don't know why, but I am. Just feel weird about it. Max will be sleeping before that versus Elia. I don't know, man. At 45, I don't like I don't like it for Max anymore. That's just all I gotta say. Because if you watch the 10-second exchange between Holloway and Justin was landing bombs on Max in that exchange. I wouldn't say he was landing bombs. He was landing some short shots on the inside, though. Elia used to fight at 55 too, which is kind of crazy. But we'll see. I think Holloway's more elusive. He's got good footwork. He's got all the tools to be able to beat Elia, and Elia has the tools to beat him, I think. Yeah, no, you're good, man. Short shots. I get you. Hill is definitely delusional. He is definitely delusional. No doubt about it. I'm gonna get ready to hop off here, guys. Grab some food before the fights and stuff. Hope you all enjoy the fights, man. And yeah, I know it's not the most exciting card, but I feel like we're gonna get some good scraps out there too. And the prelims are decent, so you like Hill, but he should just probably be quiet for now. I agree, man. I agree, man. He's just gotta stop. He's just gotta stop. So yeah, entertain for sure, man. For sure. Appreciate you guys. See you next time.